What's up, guys? I just got a brand new record I'm pretty excited about. And by new record, I mean an old record, but new to me. It was a blind buy, as they say, which means buying the record without ever having heard the music on it, because it's one of those records where the songs are not online yet. And I'm really happy with it. And also, it just really makes me want to talk about the artist as a whole and basically his whole career, which is actually really pretty short. So we're just going to quickly go over everything because he's really dope. In fact, some of his other stuff is even more impressive. I'm definitely going to play some clips. I think you're really going to like it. I did actually technically blog about one of these, actually two of these tapes I'm going to talk about before, but I think you got to hear the sound clips to really appreciate it. And I'm going to talk about this new record and all, just the whole career of a guy I'm talking about known as Sheikh G. Is part of Fresh Kid Ice's ICP, Ice Cold Productions, not the Insane Clown Posse, the original ICP. He was part of that group who, actually a bunch of dope artists, most especially probably Bali and the Fat Daddy. Great album, great couple singles and stuff. They were really dope. Guys like MC Smart, Dem Boys, the Regulators. So I've been kind of covering them on my blog every so often, but I think Sheikh G is perhaps the strongest of all of them. Dem Boys were kind of the weak link anyway. So, but now getting to this record here, The Cartel featuring Sheikh G. Now that's not Sheikh G being a guest artist on a record by The Cartel. The Cartel is his group. It's sort of like saying Digital Underground featuring Shock G. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, when you say featuring Sheikh G, it's because he's the headliner of this group. In fact, I'm really not sure who else is in The Cartel. Certainly Sheikh G does all of the rapping. It's a 2-song 12-inch. Past the Mac 10 is on the B-side, and he does all the rapping on both songs. There's cuts by DJ Kid Fury, but he's kind of listed as if he's a guest. I don't know. Maybe he's a member. Maybe he's just someone who's kind of down on ICP. I know DJ Kid Fury. He's done a lot of Miami stuff. I just don't know if he was ever considered an official member of The Cartel. He could have been. There are 4 guys in the writing production credit, but they just put their real names, not their rap names. One of them is Sheikh G. So again, I guess the other guys, you know, 1 or 2 or all of them might be the other members of The Cartel. If The Cartel ever had a chance to put out an album, maybe we would have found out. Frustratingly, that never happened. We just got this one single from them. Anyway, the production is pretty good. It's not the strongest. It's not as strong as some of the stuff we're going to hear in a minute. All the guys from The Cartel or these other anonymous names, whoever they are, do share production credit, but that does include Sheikh G. He does get production credit, and that's important because actually Sheikh G has done a lot of production. He does all his own production later on, and also he's produced for some other guys, including, well, Fresh Kid Ice, naturally. Also like MC Madness, after he kind of split from DJ Magic Mike, he did some writing and production on that album. In fact, that's probably much more what he's known for. If, you know, I mean, he's not really all that known in general. It's a pretty underground name, but he's probably more made his mark as a writer and producer for other guys than for himself, which is a shame because he was really dope. So I'll play you some clips of this later, because before we even get into that, I want to get to his really even stronger songs, which are on this compilation here called Masters of Bass. It's a compilation album from 1991, again, same year as the 12-inch, this time on Joey Boy Records, which is a big Miami label. And if you look at the cover, it looks really generic and, you know, cheap. And you would think it's just going to be all like, you know, a random compilation of pre-existing, pre-released bass songs. Like maybe you'll get an old Magic Mike song, you know, and an old Dynamix song and that kind of thing, and that's it. But no, this is actually all unreleased material exclusive to this album, made for this album. And all of it is entirely the ICP. It's really an ICP album. Again, Ice Cold Productions, not Insane Clowns. It is their album. It's a compilation album of all their guys. Fresh Kid Ice has a couple songs on here. Top Rank. Bali has a good solo song on here. It's the Overtown Hop, which is actually a pretty big song for him. And 3 songs by Sheikh G. Solo songs. All of these are really dope. He's got some really great energy and style. He kind of comes off as like a cross between Willie D and NWA in their prime. Like, and you, if that's saying something, believe me, he lives up to it. And his production here, all by himself, is off the hook. It's great. All 3 songs. It's hard to pick a favorite because you go like, oh man, Fuck You is the illest. But then you hear Grand Larceny, especially when the horns come in the second verse, like, oh no, that's the best. You know, oh no, Nigger from the Crib. They're all great. He comes off really hard. Definitely very street, but at the same time actually saying something. There's like a message to it, but it's not at all preachy, kind of, you know, brush your teeth, you know, corny stuff. Really hardcore, just really along the lines of something like Fuck the Police by NWA.
Car 52, QSL. We have a 211 in progress on 1100 block of MLK Boulevard. Suspect may be armed and dangerous. Don't try to be a hero. Wait for backup. I repeat, wait for backup.
Car 52, QSL, over. Come on, let's go tip that goddamn nigga. The police of the National Guard can't stop me. slow down. Yo, shit, you gotta stop that fuck shit you doing, man. Chill out, my nigga, chill out. I'm in the death game, and now that they label me with insane, motherfuckers gotta hide out. Cause when it past the Mac, I just ride out. This ain't I'm original. The police, the feds, and all the individuals, and all the motherfuckers are sick of me. That's the reason why they can't get with me. Yo, cuz, I'm hurting, man, and G, he's one. Why don't we just turn this motherfucker in so both of us can get paid? Fuck you and the bitch that had you, and if you try to make that move, your ass is through. You're gonna have a place if you snitch. Face down in a motherfucking ditch. Miami, they call it a drug zone. They need to step off and leave it alone. It's the place where I dwell and never failed. Animosity spell with a capital L. Home of the lyric, the critical, lyrical. Magic City, known for the miracles. Alabama, the Liberty City. 34th Street is where I roam. Now I belong to the microphone. My territory, the same old story. It's the sound of my glory. It's the girlfriend's cry. Yo, why'd you do that? Because he failed to reply. You dropped larceny, I got rougher. Burned by lead, so now you gotta suffer. Left in the alley with broken ribs. Man, who do you think you are? I'm a nigga from the crib. Look, man, all that negative shit you're doing is complete garbage. Bullshit, that's what it is. A nigga from the crib, I got your nigga from the crib. You talking about larceny? I got your motherfucking larceny right here. This Tech 9, motherfucker. Drop the bomb on niggas with larceny because their hearts are filled with animosity. From way down south, your arms got clout. And running my mouth is what it's all about. Fuck you! 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 It's a scandal! They call me a vandal. Another one from the niggas in the panhandle. On the street from a true black brother. They say my skin ain't nothing but a shit color. Fuck the rumors, I'm tired of these niggas. I can care less about a goddamn critic. On the track, people call me Shizm. All the girlies, they say I'm a dism. I stack papers, and some got beat for that. I'm getting paid, so they yakety yak. I'm on the money, and suckers can't stand me. Now the silly motherfuckers wanna brand me. Label me a what? They need to quit that shit. Fuck you! Yo, this is for the hit. Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Go on a mission, follow out. 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 Another brother got dropped because he couldn't stop. Another brother got killed by the rock. A young brother is now a fatality. So wise up and face some reality.
Alright, so now I'll play those Cartel songs. Again, now these aren't quite as good, mainly on the production end, but they're pretty dope. I was definitely happy with them. You know, I knew Sheikh G, based on the other songs I had heard, that I had high hopes. And I think it does live up to my high hopes. It's not as dope as the Masters of Bass stuff, but let's listen to it now. It is pretty good.
I'm the king of the home invasion. I don't give a damn because of even Jack Hastings. They don't stand a chance with me. If you're down with this nigga, I'm sure you'll agree. A motherfucker with a death wish. I'm devious and don't give a fuck about a bitch. I say I got your back, put on an act, get slack. Then you ask get Jack. And just the other day I went lurking. Down on my dick I was hurting. So I dipped to a crime watch neighborhood. I got away clean because the Jack was good. And this a motherfucker tried to stop me. Jumped in my way trying to block me. Just to be a goddamn hero. So I pull out my 9 and that was 0. And motherfuckers like Crime Stoppers. Your shit like that is for damn teeny boppers. And I'm much bigger than that. So I pull up the scarf, put on the dumps and pull down my hat. And don't make it a homicide. Get the keys and then I jack them for their rides. Now it's high speed chase time. I gotta shake the fuckers cause I can't waste time. Cause at 5 o'clock, I gotta hit this mansion on the 700 block. It's filled with all kinds of goods. I clean that place out like only I would. The way I jack, I don't stereotype. I get red, blue, green, yellow, black, and white because they all got paper. I have no remorse, that's why I do these capers. Cause I'm all about making it. And when I see shit I like, I just break it. I got to have it. And by all means, I'm coming straight from the bottom, from Jack to King. Some people say I look real quiet, That's just the front and some don't buy it. Cause they say I seem real sneaky. Once I scale a high rise, but that was too freaky. I'm tired of packing everywhere I go, cause there's nothing but jacking every place I show. I'm sick of it, I even tried to solve it. I let the goddamn revolver revolve it. And then they say I'm too negative, because they talk about the way I live. Most people try to hide the truth, that's why the tech number 9 is the proof. I talk about the past and the present, they say I'm rogue so they call me a peasant. But I'm surviving, so fuck you, mister, cause I'll never ever be an ass kisser, or a motherfucking junkie for a paycheck. And that shit ain't even dawned on you yet. But when you find down to see, you had to hear from a brother like me. So now you're thinking that a nigga got vapors. I'm just a nigga with a pocket full of papers. I did time, I'm not blind. I'm a nigga with a strong ass mind. They think ignorant is black and blacker. Fuck working for a pussy ass cracker. I'm still waiting for the shit to end. Hey yo, Drew.
What up, G?
Pass them at 10. The other day I had a problem with the police. I just want to bullshit the seats. I can't even see the road dog rover without the motherfuckers trying to pull me over. I'm not a dealer, but the police doubt it. I'm a rapper, so I'll tell you about it. They just fuck with the blacks and Hispanics. Fuck the police, put them all in panic.
Unfortunately, that's like it for him. Again, except, he wrote and produced for some other guys like MC Madness, but for Sheikh G as a recording artist, that's about it. There was an earlier 12-inch by a group called BPS, which was his group. He was one half of BPS, and they only had one 12-inch too. And this is, like I say earlier, like late 80s, and it sounds very 80s. Like, it sounds like a totally different group. I mean, you can recognize Sheikh's voice in there and stuff, but, a totally different kind of tone, none of the kind of gangsta influence into it at all. Like, it's much more, again, think of sort of the happy mid-80s kind of stuff. It's sort of like that. The song's called You're a Clown, and they play clown, like, circus music on the hook. So that's what it is. I don't own it, but I've heard it. It's fun. It's good. It almost sounds like they're like a completely different artist. It's sort of like, if you think of Dr. Dre, it's sort of like his World Class Wrecking Crew. Maybe not quite that extreme of a difference, but pretty close. So it's dope. It's kind of cool to check out. But, you want to get to know Sheikh G. That's why I'm leaving this out. But I am waving this tape in the air as I'm talking, because there is one more Sheikh G verse out there. It's on this album, Fresh Kid Ice, The Chinaman, 1992, so the year after, on, well, not technically Luke Records, Effect Records, which was a subsidiary of Luke Records. It was where they put more of their kind of hardcore hip-hop stuff like the Poison Clan and Bust Down, and I guess Fresh Kid Ice for his album. Fresh Kid Ice is not terribly hardcore, but this album is actually pretty good, basically because he's got the whole ICP behind it. Doing production, doing writing, doing a bunch of guest verses. Fat Daddy's on like 3 songs. Bali's on it. Guys like K Ponce are on it. And Sheikh G is on it. There's a song on here called Roll Call, which is Fresh Kid Ice, Sheikh G, and Fat Daddy. And it is really dope. And they're basically rocking over Genius of Rap, which, just about everybody's used. I mean, obviously, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde used it first, but then Mixmaster Spade used it. And it's like one of those beats that everybody, if they haven't used it on their album, they've at least freestyled over it. It's like a signature staple hip-hop beat. But it's always sounds really dope. So it sounds dope here. 3 nice verses. I'll play Sheikh G's here from it. This is unfortunately his last verse, but again, it shows you had skills.
What's your name? Sheikh G. And I'm down with the ICP. What's your sign? Gemini. And motherfuckers got larceny.
Sheikh G, my man, if you're ready to burn, it's your turn.
An unbelievable nightmare from the streets of Dade County. And if you ain't real, get your ass from around me. Cause I hate phonies and dislike circus. So I got beat for a pussy motherfucker. And I speak wisely. So some despise me, they patronize me, and some chastise me. I ain't no sucker, but that's irrelevant. They all have beef because I have intelligence. They all tried to stop me in my quest. But I was blessed with the bulletproof vest. And gas don't have no effect. So I fade to black so I can motherfucking flex and dip on their ass real smoothly. Cause driving a car, yo, it don't even move me. Because I just stomp and jump to the cannon sound from the automatic pump. They never had a clue when a nigga was silent. But now they're hip because the nigga got violent. It ain't nothing but corruption. Cause Sheikh G's down with Ice Cold Production.
Yeah, it's really a shame that Sheikh G never broke out and kind of had his own career. His name might not have helped. It does sort of sound like a generic rap name. It sort of sounds like Shock G. So it's not one of those names that grabs you and makes you think, oh, I gotta check this guy's album out. Not that he had an album to check out. But I think he really should have. It's actually a shame. Miami Bass Records should have put out a Cartel / Shake G album instead of MC Smart's album. I'm sorry, MC Smart, like that album was okay, had some good stuff on it, but he was no Shake G. Shake G should have had the other album instead of just one single, and MC Smart could have had one single. You know, obviously, Miami Bass wanted to put out probably all the ICP artists and give them all albums, but since they didn't really have the budget or, you know, strength to do that, and they had to focus on a couple, they did Bali and the Fat Daddy, and that's a great album. They definitely should have done that. But instead of MC Smart, they should have done Shake G. And again, I can see how this guy wouldn't necessarily be like a huge crossover guy, you know, like big mainstream success. I don't think he would have gone there. I don't think he would have been like NWA getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame right now had he come out. I don't think, you know, he never would have been that large, but I think he would have made some dope records that Hez would have appreciated, and they would have sold, and he would have had some life, and he could have had, you know, a couple albums out, a decent career, and maybe still be doing stuff today as one of these guys who, you know, again, writes and produces for a lot of the younger guys, because a lot of these guys, you know, these Florida guys are still working, you know, they're writing for Rick Ross or producing for, you know, like it just kind of goes on and on and on. And he might still be sort of doing that because Fresh Kid Ice, Lord knows, sources seems to still be doing stuff and has all sorts of weird online albums out and stuff. So maybe Shake G's kind of involved behind the scenes there. But I think he could have been involved in even bigger, more prolific stuff had he gotten his name out there more and had he gotten that push, at least from Miami Bass Records. It's a shame, but definitely absolutely worth tracking all these songs down because they're really dope. So yeah, that's who Shake G is, and that's who the Cartel is by and large. Again, I guess there's other members, but I think it was sort of like the Poison Clan with JT Money after Debonair left. There's kind of other members unofficially like Madball and Uzi, but basically it was all JT Money. They're basically JT Money solo albums, like albums 2, 3, and 4. And I imagine had Cartel had multiple albums, it would have been pretty much the same thing. Predominantly Shake G solo albums where he's producing, rhyming, writing, everything, and then, you know, maybe like a guest producers and DJs and 1 or 2 guys kind of filling in some vocals and stuff, but basically Shake G. But there are some names here who probably are technically official members of the Cartel, who probably basically just handled some of the instrumentation, but still pretty solid, and definitely Shake G is great. So now you know who he is. Now you should buy his records, and who knows if, you know, interest in him takes off, maybe one of these independent labels like Dope Folks will dig up like a whole unreleased album by him, you know, in the Miami Bass Records archive and release that, and that would be fantastic. So thanks for watching, guys.